and welcome back to 1700. Ryan and I are joined tonight by AM Reruns. We've got Andy and Daniel
Hello.
in the studio. How are you going?
Good. Thanks for having us on.
You're
Also
very
very
welcome.
well. Also very thankful.
It's fun to play for you.
Well, it's been great having you in. Those performances you gave before were phenomenal, by the way. Thank you very much for coming in.
Appreciate it.
So I guess we can probably start off by asking you how the band and your name AM Reruns came about. What's the story there?
I mean, the name was the name we hated the least, I would say, after the long
Isn't that how it
exhaustive
is?
list, yeah.
Right.
It essentially refers to whatever is on TV after midnight. That the trashier, the better.
Yeah.
I think I was
love that.
watching some awful vampire film.
But there's also that sense
One
of
night.
like you're listening to the radio and like and it's like a rerun from like the last night, and it's like but it's in the morning and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's a multi-layered name.
Amazing. Love
Isn't
that.
it?
Yeah. And can you tell us a little bit about the first song you played earlier, Looking for a Victim?
Yep. Yeah, Looking for a Victim is kind of about, it's about a few things. I'm a pretty sort of foggy-headed songwriter lyrically, but I wrote it about my my brother-in-law, and he went missing in the Mount Buller a few years ago, and I wrote it about him while my family and I were trying to find him, which is a heavy thing to write a song about. But it's one of those things that it's a hard thing to explain. I guess it's just you sort of don't know what to do with yourself, and sometimes you just have to make things. And I just made that song out of it. Yeah. But I think technically it's probably our best tune as well, which is
Right.
I love the sort of it has when you hear it with the full band, it has a nice sort of throbby, synthy intro at the start. And it just feels like quite an accomplishment when we finished it. I think we were very proud of it.
Absolutely.
That's why we played it first. And
As you should be. It's a fantastic song.
cheers, thank you.
Does all of your music have such a deep personal connection to you guys? Is
Definitely not for me.
No?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
What makes the other songs different to that one?
Well, that last one was just wanting to write a rockabilly song about being unpopular in high school.
Yeah.
Pretty much an Everly Brothers pastiche. I tried to rip off a song actually. I'm being a bit glib. I tried to write a song a bit like Poor Jenny, which is an Everly Brothers tune, just about a date gone wrong. And so I wrote about a school formal gone wrong, or not occurring at all. It's it's fun. You got to have some lightness in there as well. Right?
Yeah.
You got to have some silly songs.
Light and shade.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A
Can
bit of
find that
a healthy
balance.
balance there. Yeah.
And you're on tour at the moment. How's the journey been so far?
Well, what have we done? We've done Sydney. Sydney is our first tour. Well, it's not our first tour, but it's our first time in the other big capital cities. Sydney was.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I like you
Thank
don't
you.
call Adelaide a capital city.
We've been to Adelaide. I
Ticking
said
the boxes.
big capital cities. Adelaide's great though.
We love Adelaide.
I love
We love
Adelaide. It's the best. I love Rundle Mill.
It is the three of you on tour, isn't it? So
Yeah,
you've got
yeah.
your drummer.
The whole band, obviously, yeah. And it's always a bit difficult going to new cities for the first time, but I think we played really well in Sydney. I was happy with it. Canberra was a bit of a funny old show.
It was a great venue, but the sound wasn't
Oh,
ideal,
okay.
but we had a really good time.
Also met
Fair
some
enough.
wonderful people in Canberra. Yeah.
Do you have any strange, interesting things that happen on tours like that? Is that like a common occurrence, or is it mostly just pretty straightforward?
There's always interest on a tour.
Yeah.
When you're landing in a new town and you're trying to make your way as a musician and trying to put on a good show, without that regular social network that you do somewhat rely on as a musician.
Yeah.
But when sometimes it really works. Like the other gig we did was in
Thirroul,
which is
Frank's Wild Years.
yeah.
So it's in a record shop, that gig, and Thirroul's near Wollongong.
beautiful part of the world.
Yeah.
Beautiful people.
It
That
is
was
a
an
beautiful
amazing
part,
show.
yeah.
The place was really busy. Really, lots of people came out to watch us, and it's that culture that you'd sort of expect an indie rock culture to be in your capital cities, but it's actually, so we theorise, it's kind of more sustainable to have that sort of culture in the satellite towns.
Right.
So Thirroul was great, so much fun. I actually want to answer the question from before though about the strange things happening. I think you and I have been in bands variously for 10, 12 years. And there are, like, every time you commence down something to do a gig or go to another city, something weird happens. Or you meet some really fascinating, interesting person.
Well, on
Like-
Friday we're playing at the most haunted pub in Australia.
It just
Ooh.
happens without even trying. Like, we're playing at a ghost pub.
Oh my God, that sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
I know, right?
Is this
Wow.
in Melbourne?
This is in Ballarat.
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 Yeah,
Oh,
we're playing at the
wow.
Eastern,
Yeah.
which has just got a lot of history.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But you guys are also having your album launch
Yep.
in a couple of nights, I believe.
Saturday night, the September 21 at Nighthawks,
Excellent.
which is a bar in Johnston Street, Collingwood.
Awesome.
We actually filmed our one and only music video at Nighthawks.
Brilliant.
So we thought.
So
we'd play there.
if people want to come along to that, where can they find you online to get in touch?
At AM Reruns, same for Facebook, same for Instagram.
Okay.
We're on We're on all the things.
Beautiful.
Spotify. The music's
Spotify.
there. Albums for sale on Bandcamp or at the show if anyone wants a vinyl LP.
And T-shirts.
We got T-shirts
All the
now.
merch, all the
Saw that on your
music.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, if you have been watching tonight's show and you want to see more from AM Reruns, please jump onto their social media at AM Reruns on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, and come along to their show on Saturday, the 21st of September at the Nighthawk in Melbourne. Thank you again for joining us,
Thank
guys. It's been
you.
great
Thanks so much for
having
having
you in.
us.
Thank you.
You're watching 1700 with Ryan, Indy, and AM Reruns.